Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera showing us the path of Hurricane Matthew, turning more westward, closing in on the east coast of Florida. We'll get his full forecast in just a minute.
But first, though, we want to let you know how to prepare, and we're already seeing stores running out of essential supplies in South Florida. ABC Action News reporter Ashley Yore is live right now at the Lowe's in South Tampa. And Ashley, you've got a rundown of the items that we all need to check, even if we already have them at home.
That's right, Dia. You know, we know the basics. Like, you want to make sure you have water on hand. You're going to want to have bread and some canned foods at home. But there are a few things. You may even have some of them in your home, but you need to give them a once-over to make sure that you're ready. Something like batteries. I'm with Josh here with Lowe's. Batteries, you need to check and make sure they're still good, right?
Absolutely. One thing you want to look for with your batteries, some of them may sit around a while. You want to look for any corrosion buildup or acid buildup up on top. Definitely test them prior to. Don't want to get caught in a situation where they're not working.
Something else, you want to make sure that you have gas. You want to come here, get your gas cans, but then you want to make sure you have enough gas to run your generators.
Correct. Have your gas readily available. They tend to run out in times like this with situations, so definitely want to have gas on hand.
And just quickly talk to me about keeping all of your devices charged. You have this bigger power station here, a little bit expensive. You have something smaller that can work in a pinch. Right.
These power banks here, and I'll have an example of one. It actually has a USB port on the side to charge your cell phone devices. It also acts as a LED flashlight. So it's definitely something that's handy to have around the home.
All right, you want to make sure you have those things ready to go. Right now, we want to turn things over to Ivan Cabrera for the latest on that track. And Ivan, where's the storm right now?
Yeah, it is over northern Cuba right now, emerging back over open water, which means it'll continue to intensify. Great advice there, and this will be a power outage kind of storm, right? I'll show you the rain tallies in a second. Not really too concerned about the rainfall. It's going to be the power outages because we are going to get tropical storm force winds across the Tampa Bay area, specifically Polk and Highlands County. So there's the track headed off to the north and west, becoming a Category 4 hurricane through the Bahamas. A disaster, obviously, for some of the islands there, and then heading into Florida, very close to making a landfall. Here's the structure of the storm. Again, this will continue to get better organized. Not that it's not now, 125-mile-an-hour winds, but we're thinking 130, 135 eventually as it tracks over the very warm waters of the Bahamas. Nothing really to interrupt its structure as far as any wind shear or anything like that. So this should be steady as she goes to the north and west. There it is at 130-mile-an-hour winds on Wednesday night through the Bahamas. Worst case for them, and of course that is the time period. Now it continues headed up to the north and west. Typically with a normal storm you get a landfall here, but the atmospherics are very interesting in how this is going to shape up. So basically, if I'm watching or if I'm living right along the coast there, and I did at one point, I would be preparing for a Cat 4 landfall, worst case scenario, because it's so close to where we have the forecast here. This would be for Thursday night, 130-mile-an-hour winds. Now the winds don't extend out forever, right? They extend out 40 miles, so that is going to be the wind field that's going to be destructive. Further out, about 160 to 180 miles, that's where we have tropical storm force winds, and that's what would impact our area unless this shifts a little bit further to the west. But we have to go with the track that we have for now, paralleling the coast. And by the way, the European and the American model both have this within 5 miles of the coastline here. So it's going to be a very close call. And obviously, if you're within 5 miles, they are definitely going to get into hurricane conditions across the coast, which is why we have those hurricane watches and warnings. But for us, it's 40 to 60-mile-an-hour winds, and that in and of itself is enough to cause power outages here for an extended period because, again, it's moving along the coast, not in. So this means Thursday night, continuing into Friday for Polk and Highlands County. Here are the computer model forecasts. The American finally catching up with the European. By the way, the European had this a while ago, and there it is as it continues to head up to the north and west. And again, within it's kissing basically the coastline here as far as the center of circulation, making a technical landfall, and then heads up heading into Saturday across the Carolinas. The rest of the computer model forecast, some are very confused. As you can see, this is just a mess here, right? But the important part for us would be this track here, and all of them now in agreement of coming a lot closer than we had talked about last week. So the forecast then, as we talk about the rain bands, they'll continue to move in, not today, but tonight, and then heading into Friday, we're going to be on the drier side of the storm, which means 6 to 8 inches for the coast, 4 to 6 inches for parts of our county, and then the further away you get, the less rainfall.